a new video for you. This is a wash hand basin set, like a dual sink set, using some marble bowls and lots of offcuts. Again, this is for me. I've had this idea in my head for a while. I've decided to make it out of some walnut that means a lot to me, stuff that I've cut down over the years. So loads of machining, silly lumps and odd bits to try and get as much as I can from it. And then later on in the video you'll see the actual design, and you'll see a little bit of me installing it as well. I had to get a bit handy with the plumbing, split the hot and cold into two and the waste, etc. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. So I've used some real character pieces of wood here. This oak slab I took down a while ago from a really large tree. I'll put a picture up. This is now fully seasoned, but there's going to be resin fills because it's really characterful and cracked. And as I said, the walnut is from various projects and trees that I've cut down myself over the years. I don't know if you can notice there, bottom right, I haven't spotted it yet. Obviously, I missed a bit with the glue gun. These things happen. There's no panic. Acrylic is your best friend at this point, not silicone. Just get acrylic, wipe it off, get some acrylic on there, and it's sealed up. I'm using Glass Cast 50 again. This is the copper bronze resin that I mix. Just looks really good and kind of natural when it's finished. It's really kind of smart and stuff. It's not too bright. It's not a color you're going to go off. And it really complements the brown oak I'm using here. I don't want to talk over this video for no reason. I've got lots of videos if you're wondering about the sanding style and the sander itself or the paper. Look back through the videos, you'll see lots of different videos on finishing tabletops and slabs. Something I'm doing quite a lot at the minute is I'm adding Morel's walnut stain to the hard wax oil. I use Heidelberg, and it just gives the wood a kind of deeper color. Almost, it brings out the brown in the brown oak, and it just takes that kind of yellowing off that sometimes happens with oak. So this was just a really quick jig I made to cut the bottom of the table legs to give them the kind of angle, tapered angle, and then all I do is I raise the blade very slightly. I use it at stop on the left hand side and cut in like a little rebate just to give it some detail around the bottom of the leg. So back to the domino. This is the Domino XL. You know I really love using it. I'm using 2 dominoes per sort of mortise and tenon joint. So it's really quick, super accurate, and very, very strong. Another good thing about using these floating tenons is the saving of the wood. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm trying to get as much as I can out of this walnut, and I'm saving quite a lot by not having to remove big sections for the tenons, and it's much slower. And also with the walnut, you can get a bit of tear out. You've got to really take your time cutting deep tenons. So this is a very quick, efficient way. So first you use that to reference from the top, and then you put the pin in the hole you've cut for the second cut down. And that's how you get the spacing exact on both parts. As always, I'm using threaded inserts. That gives the top, which is solid oak, if it needs to move, the holes are drilled. I believe it's like an 8 or a 6, M6 bolt and an M10 hole. So there's plenty of movement, and I just snug it up. I don't over tighten it. So I enrolled my lovely wife, Julia. She helped me do the hard wax oil on the base. You're going to see later on, because it's obviously going to be around water, I'm actually going to 3-pack lacquer the top, which you'll see me spray. You've seen me use it before. There'll be links in the description. All of the finishes are from Amicus, other than the ceramic coating, which is my own manor wood. So I had this idea for a towel rail, which is going to be basically like half lap joints and then just pushed together real tight with a bit of glue. And because it's going to have a lot of water around it, I had a really old table. I believe me and my wife bought it around 25 or more years ago, which was solid teak. When it was absolutely finished and no good in the garden, I couldn't bring myself to burn all of it and destroy it. So I cut the legs off, thinking one day something good will come of it. It's absolutely brilliant, solid wood, so I'm going to save it for this kind of stuff. Very, very stable. So my process, I'm not the best sprayer in the world, but my process is I get about 3 or 4 coats on. I think there was 5 on this. Dries real quick, so you can apply the coats in about 2 hours. The whole thing's done. I leave it for 24 hours, and then sometimes I denib between coats with the overspray and that. In this case, I didn't need to. So what I use 1,000 Scotch Brite on a polisher, and once it's fully cured, buff that, really buff that up, and then I can apply the Mannerwood ceramic. In this case, I do 2 or 3 coats, and it's so easy to apply. Every sort of 6 months, I might just top it up. Then the water will never stain. It will always bead, no matter if there's toothpaste or sort of, you know, shampoo or anything, any kind of soap gets on it. This will really protect it. Okay, one last test fit of everything, and then it's get it into position and install it. Okay, so this is what was here when we bought the property. It is lovely, but we did kind of want a twin sink, and it's not really our style. Biggest challenge was obviously single plumbing. I'm not really a plumber. This is what I come up with. It was really tricky because that is a very old beam that I had to cut through. My main goal was obviously to have a really nice crisp finish once the plasterboard and painting was done, and I'm really happy with how that worked out. But I'm glad it's done, and now the install. So what I'm going to do is just scuff around the main hole for the basin so that we can key it. A bit of silicone on the underside here and a little bit of silicone around the bowl. It's as simple as that. Well, we're both really pleased with the results. I hope you guys like this and you found something useful. We absolutely love it. It's really changed the way we use the bathroom now that you've got a sink each. Much more contemporary looking. Got a new mirror. I can't remember where I found it, but got a new bronze copper mirror to match in as well. So overall, really happy with this. This is the last of the home projects. Back to work on other people's projects now, so hopefully some interesting ones coming soon. Stay safe everyone, and thanks for your support.